If you're in the room, what are you doing with the Judge MVP number? Books are now 2-1, standalone favorite. What are you doing with the Judge number?
What do I do with the MVP? I let them bet Judge at what? Even money? Come on in. I mean, you have to acknowledge now that he's the guy.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
If you're in the room, what are you doing with the Judge MVP number? Books are now 2-1, standalone favorite. What are you doing with the Judge number?
What do I do with the MVP? I let them bet Judge at what? Even money? Come on in. I mean, you have to acknowledge now that he's the guy.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
You're going a little deep bomb hunting here. We don't care that we have the one heavy favorite with Rory, a couple other guys like Fleetwood and Tagala, etc. You're going to go a little deeper down the board.
This course, I think, is going to play a little bit more to the wedges. They have, what they did is they've renovated it to basically block off some of the bombing alleys for these guys. They've narrowed the fairways.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Garrett Cole is getting ready to come back, too. I guess this... Look, they've played great without him, but you're not going to say to Garrett Cole, look, don't come back. I mean, it's a ridiculous conversation to have.
They're not going to take any unnecessary chances. And look, they're at the point where they have a lead. They certainly are going to make the playoffs, I would say, barring some sort of complete collapse. And that's all it takes.
Newswire.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency, the pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. A Twisted Tuesday has begun. We've got a full house on the program this evening. The Raging Redhead Cam Stewart steps up and in. Andrew McInnes joins us. Paul Bovey in the house tonight because it would be no good for Paul to join us after the Game 3 of the NBA Finals tomorrow night. So Paul Bovey steps up and in tonight. Our main man, Rick Saratella. We talk football with Rick. We got a full house. We've got Major League Baseball going on that takes center stage here this evening. Right now, the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Texas Rangers facing off at Chavez Ravine, a potential, maybe, World Series matchup. Texas obviously have some work to do, and the Dodgers aren't there yet, but a big-time matchup, nevertheless, coming off a big-time series that the Dodgers just played with the Yankees. We're on the Dodgers minus 160, but we find ourselves in an interesting situation. Normally, I don't play these parlays. I don't play a bunch of parlays every night because I generally don't win. All right. So I'm not a big parlay guy. In football, I'll play two-teamers, right? UFC, two-teamer and stuff, but I'm not one of these, I'm going to play a big parlay every night. But I probably should because every once in a while, you might actually hit it. And we're not there yet, but I put in all my plays without putting them in. So I lined up the page first. And then I saw, and I'm like, oh, wow, look, it's 46-1 if I just parlay them all together. So I was like, all right, I'll put $10 on it. So we dropped $10 on the parlay. And we find ourselves right now, we need the Toronto Blue Jays to hang on, but we took the Baltimore Orioles plus 115. The Washington Nationals, minus 105. Paul Skeens, over 7.5 strikeouts, plus 115. New York Yankees to win the baseball game, minus 135. Toronto Blue Jays to win the game, minus 120. And the Los Angeles Dodgers to win the game, minus 160. $10 pays back $468. For the record, we could cash out right now for $227. I did play. Now, we talk about not hedging, but I wanted to put myself in a situation where I don't get too frustrated by this. So what I did do is I took the Texas Rangers plus 1.5 runs at minus 155. Didn't go crazy on it or anything like that, but I just took the Rangers plus 1.5. So ideally the Dodgers win by 1, and I win them both. But whatever. The Ranger play was just for the sake of it, because I say this because the Los Angeles Dodgers are always most vulnerable in game ones when they get back home. I'm telling you, there's a pattern to this. All right, they lose to Colorado, they lose to Pittsburgh, they lose to whoever they play in these spots, it seems often. Now, they'll often lose to like subpar teams in the first game of the series and to get back home. They should be ready for the Texas Rangers, but nevertheless, the Dodgers are susceptible to this at times, right? They were on the East Coast. They're coming off the series against the Yankees, their first game back. We don't like taking teams in their first game back from road trips as a general rule of habit. But we put the Dodgers in a parlay, and truth be told, I might get into a position where I'll just cash it out. But I need the Blue Jays to actually win the game first, right? We're into the seventh inning right now. Look, $10 pays $223. I can already make $213 here, already. But like I said, let's wait and see what happens with the Blue Jays. Worst case scenario is the Blue Jays blow this suddenly, and it's all for naught. Rangers and Dodgers, do what you will with it. We took the Dodgers, but we also took the Rangers plus 1.5. And as I stated, the Dodgers aren't a lock, man, in these game ones at home. NFL mini camps going on. We're going to get into some football tonight with Rick Saratello. We'll get into some football with Andrew McKinnis, CFL football with McKinnis, CFL football, NFL football. We have the UFL championship this week. And so final game of the year, the Birmingham Stallions are looking to win 3 consecutive championships. And I don't care what leagues you're in. It's super impressive. So Birmingham won the USFL for a couple of years. And now, the leagues are merged and they're looking for a third straight championship. But this San Antonio team, coached by Wade Phillips, and, Wade Phillips, a hell of a coach. He has so much fun doing this. He's mic'd up and stuff. And coming into the year, nobody believed in San Antonio, right? We were betting on them a lot. And even now they've surpassed our expectations. And now they're in the championship game. Birmingham are 3-point favorites in this game. The total is 41. The game is Sunday at 5 o'clock Eastern time. NBA basketball, the money is coming in on the Dallas Mavericks. Despite the fact that the Mavericks are down 2-0, a lot of bettors believe that the Mavericks are the play in Game 3. And I think the fact that Kristaps Porzingis is going to be out with some sort of this is not bad. I can't even say this. Rental Callum? Why can't they just say he's got a bad knee, torn ligament or something? There's actually like a 7-word medical phrase for this that I'm not even going to try to do. But nevertheless, Kristaps not playing tomorrow. Right? So it's been a little bit of line move, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter if Kristaps Porzingis plays or not, if Kyrie Irving isn't going to hit any shots, if the Dallas Mavericks secondary players don't step up. Luka Doncic is dealing with pain. He's been taking shots before these games as well. The total is 212.5, so that's climbed up a little bit. It was 212, and the point spread is up to 2.5. We'll give you some best bets for this tonight. Paul Bovey's going to step up, and then we look forward to Paul's take on the NBA Finals. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Edmonton Oilers, minus 135. They opened up minus 125. It's been moved up to minus 135. The Panthers are plus 115. Barkov, his status is unknown after getting lit up by Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl's not going to be getting suspended, despite the fact that some people wanted it, including Canuck fans who are chirping from the gallery. That Soucy got suspended for drilling Connor McDavid, but Leon Draisaitl doesn't get suspended for, basically doing kind of the same thing to Barkov, although every play is different, and it was different. I think it should have been more than 2 minutes, but nevertheless, the Florida Panthers scored on the power play after. So it wasn't the smartest thing for Leon Draisaitl to do. It was only a 2-1 game at the time, but that's what the Florida Panthers do to you. They frustrate you, and the frustration started to show for Connor McDavid. He punched Tkachuk in the face as well. So the Florida Panthers are definitely under the Edmonton Oilers player's skin right now, which is not a good thing if you're the Edmonton Oilers, but there's a lot of hockey left. They haven't played a home game yet in this series, although home ice hasn't always been an advantage to teams in the National Hockey League postseason. The Edmonton Oilers, Thursday night, must win, point blank. Very similar situation to the Dallas Mavericks. It's hard to believe that here we are already going into game threes, and it's like, yeah, this is an absolute must win. Here we are. It is an absolute must win. And parlaying them both together is like plus 207. It's coming down a little bit now because the Mavericks numbers moved a little bit. It's like plus 203. It was plus 207. But if you do believe that the Dallas Mavericks will win game three on their home court on Wednesday, and then the Edmonton Oilers will respond and win game three on their home ice on Thursday, plus 203 right now. And I'm part of that crew. I do think that the Dallas Mavericks are going to nail down the W tomorrow, although they're very similar teams in how they're going about their business, and they've both lost so much. They've both been in the finals before, and the Boston Celtics are showing a killer instinct that they haven't shown in the past, and that's why they're up 2-0 right now. Can they dial it up one more time? Because let's be real, they win this game, the series is over. So if the Celtics can dial it up and play the game of their lives tomorrow night, beat the Dallas Mavericks, the series is done. Whether it's a sweep or not, it doesn't matter. The Mavericks aren't going to be winning 4 straight after. Meanwhile, the Edmonton Oilers need to dig down deep and find a way to take an early lead, to take the Panthers out of the game. We break it down. This is SportsRage.
Panthers minus 2.5 games, plus 330. Panthers 2+ goals in every game, plus 225.
It's going to take a monumental effort for them not to get 2 goals in a game. It's going to take what Bobrovsky did last night. It's going to take Skinner to do in Edmonton. They're not going to do it in Florida.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
If you're in the room, what are you doing with the Judge MVP number? Books are now 2-1, standalone favorite. What are you doing with the Judge number?
What do I do with the MVP? I let them bet Judge at what? Even money? Come on in. I mean, you have to acknowledge now that he's the guy.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
You're going a little deep bomb hunting here. We don't care that we have the one heavy favorite with Rory, a couple other guys like Fleetwood and Tagala, etc. You're going to go a little deeper down the board.
This course, I think, is going to play a little bit more to the wedges. They have, what they did is they've renovated it to basically block off some of the bombing alleys for these guys. They've narrowed the fairways.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Garrett Cole is getting ready to come back too. I guess look, they've played great without him, but you're not going to say to Garrett Cole, look, don't come back. I mean, it's a ridiculous conversation to have.
They're not going to take any unnecessary chances. And look, they're at the point where they have a lead. They certainly are going to make the playoffs, I would say, barring some sort of complete collapse. And that's all it takes.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency, Sirius XM Channel 159 on the SportsGrid radio and television networks. Let's bring in Andrew McKinnis and Cam Stewart. Right now, we've got Major League Baseball games going on. Top of the first, Texas and Los Angeles have just started. No runs for the Texas Rangers in the first inning. The Dodgers are going to be coming up. The San Francisco Giants in action tonight against the Houston Astros. And, of course, Tuesday night is City Connect night. And this goes back to 2021 when we caught on to the first game that they ever wore them in, and we bet on them solely out of spite. And I said, you know what, they're going to win in them. And then they started off 12-2 in those jerseys. Coming into this season, The San Francisco Giants were 26-10 in the City Connect jerseys, and have been pretty successful this year in them as well with these Tuesday night home games, trying to track down. All I got to do now is go over all the Tuesday games from this year that they played at home. We can pin it down exactly to what it is, but it's been a profitable run. And, you know, when I read about this stuff and I was looking it up, I did find a bunch of quotes. The players on the Giants are totally aware of it. Although the City Connect jersey did not stop the ball. Is that a home run?
You go?
No, it's a ground rule double for the Houston Astros. So the jersey didn't stop the ball from being hit. Double for the Houston Astros. 2-0 for the Toronto Blue Jays right now. How you doing, Cam?
I'm doing good, Morency. Actually, we talked about that Blue Jay under trend that you brought up even to my attention, and they're getting great pitching. Kikuchi got out of a lot of jams tonight. Still, the bats are cold, but they've really shut down the Brew Crew tonight. That Jays under seems to be a great play this season. You talk about the Mariners, the Jays right there, one of the best under teams in baseball.
I'm on the Jays, and I'm on the under as well in this game. And good to see you, McKinnis. How you doing tonight?
Good to see you, Gabe. Doing very well, man. People keep on saying that sports are winding down. I don't see it at all. I'm pumped. Baseball props. You got golf going on, NBA Finals, NHL. I'm having a great time this week so far. How are you doing?
Well, the Euro Cup starts Friday, too. Germany and Scotland on Friday. You got the Copa America next week. There is a lot of stuff going on, including Major League Baseball tonight. The Dodgers and Rangers. Any action for you, Cam, on the Dodgers and Rangers tonight?
I didn't touch that game, Morency. I'm on the Seattle-Chicago under in that game, and I'm on the Milwaukee Brewers Toronto game like you under, and on the Blue Jays. I might bet these other games live if we can get a good vibe on these games. It was weird. I had a bad feeling about Oakland tonight. They're up 1-0, but very early on the Padres. I was looking at Oakland tonight with Sears.
I put a parlay. I played my baseball games tonight. And for whatever reason, I lined them all up first. So I didn't play one game, put the bet in, put another one. I just sort of lined up all the games. Then I looked at the bottom, and I was like, oh, what does it pay anyways, the parlay? And it was 46-1. So I played all the games individually, but I said, what the hell? I'll just put $10 in on the parlay. I showed it off the top, but here we go. And so all that we need right now, we started off with the Baltimore Orioles as an underdog, the Washington Nationals to beat the Tigers, Paul Skeens over 7.5 strikeouts, the New York Yankees to win the baseball game, the Toronto Blue Jays to win the baseball game, and the Los Angeles Dodgers to win the baseball game. $10 pays $468.
Hey.
And everything is won so far. The Blue Jays are up 2-0. Now the Dodger game is starting. So what I did do is I took the Texas Rangers plus 1.5 runs. I wasn't going to completely hedge it, but I didn't want to miss out on this. And truth be told, I might just jump in. Like, I want to see what they're going to pay me if the Blue Jays actually win this game. I might cash out and then jump in on the Dodgers in game and just sort of figure it out. Let me see what they're offering now. They're offering $240. It's not enough. $10 for $240 is a nice profit, but I got $468 hanging. And Andrew McKinnis isn't happy that my parlay is alive because he bet Paul Skeens to go under 7.5 strikeouts tonight.
I'm not happy. And you know what the funny thing is? I was sitting there.
What, you're one game? This guy's got a parlay going. Be a team player,
No. Look, hey, if I can't win, I want someone else to win. But it's just funny because I was texting a buddy and we were both complaining because Skeens went in just for one batter and then left. I opened up the Twitter app and I just see Morency post his parlay. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So at least I'm happy he hit. But the fact of the matter is he should have probably gone over the strikeouts, guys, in the 6th inning, right? I mean, he should have. He was set up to go over it. Then a double play happened, and I was thinking, holy smokes, they might not put him back in for the 7th inning. And, of course, they throw him back out to face one batter. But the guy's an absolute machine. He is an absolute machine, guys. And, I was going to say to you, is it bad for his development if they keep him in too long? Do you guys think it's a good thing they took him out then? Because he probably could have stayed longer, but I think it's good for him to just keep going 6 innings, 6 2/3. He's getting so much damage done. Imagine, guys, when it comes down to it, imagine the first game he pitches 8 innings. How many Ks will he have that game?
I think it's a good idea to be moderate with them. The thing is, he throws so hard. I mean, his average pitch tonight was 99.9. His average fastball, which is, even in the modern era, is insane. Like, relievers could pull that off a couple of times. He's pulling it off for multiple innings, but you're not Superman. I don't care who you are. The wear and tear on your arm is going to take a toll throwing a baseball that hard. So I think they're smart to be kind of, you know what I mean? And they're not overly patient with him. They're not like really babying him, right? I mean, he's getting up there as far as the pitch counts are concerned. But as you stated, the guy's a workhorse, but you don't want to blow his arm out early. The strikeout prop is no lock. The 7.5, it's sort of landing around this often right now. He'll get to 8, maybe 9, because they do take him out normally after about 6 innings. But the fact that it was plus 115, guys, and tonight I thought there was just a lot of strange baseball lines that were too good to be true, but they weren't. Like the Baltimore Orioles. Like, the Baltimore Orioles shouldn't be plus 115 home dogs against anybody at any time. So the Baltimore Orioles plus 115 home dogs tonight. How the hell were the New York Yankees only minus 130 favorites?
Exactly.
They rolled them. Like Paul Skeens, as good as he is. Okay, 7.5 strikeouts. Why plus 115? Why not minus 110? Really? Like, you're going to give a plus 115 on this? I think tonight was a night that there were just sort of some softer baseball numbers.
Lead off trouble by the Brewers, Gabe. We got to watch out here.
Yeah, with nobody out.
Yeah, I know.
Damn.
Here comes the
bullpen.
Panthers minus 2.5 games, plus 330. Panthers 2+ goals in every game, plus 225.
It's going to take a monumental effort for them not to get 2 goals in a game. It's going to take what Bobrovsky did last night. It's going to take Skinner to do in Edmonton. They're not going to do it in Florida.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
If you're in the room, what are you doing with the Judge MVP number? Books are now 2-1, standalone favorite. What are you doing with the Judge number?
What do I do with the MVP? I let them bet Judge at what? Even money? Come on in. I mean, you have to acknowledge now that he's the guy.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
You're going a little deep bomb hunting here. We don't care that we have the one heavy favorite with Rory, a couple other guys like Fleetwood and Tagala, etc. You're going to go a little deeper down the board.
This course, I think, is going to play a little bit more to the wedges. They have, what they did is they've renovated it to basically block off some of the bombing alleys for these guys. They've narrowed the fairways.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Garrett Cole is getting ready to come back too. I guess this. Look, they've played great without him, but you're not going to say to Garrett Cole, "Look, don't come back." I mean, it's a ridiculous conversation to have.
They're not going to take any unnecessary chances. And look, they're at the point where they have a lead. They certainly are going to make the playoffs, I would say, barring some sort of complete collapse. And that's all it takes.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Well, just like this, my parlay is in trouble. 2-0 still for the Toronto Blue Jays, but the Brew Crew, literally favorably wearing their Brew Crew jerseys tonight, have runners on first and second with nobody out. Richards on the hill for the Blue Jays. Hoskins coming up. Here for the Milwaukee Brewers. And this 2-0 lead is pretty delicate right now. And the Dodgers have just taken a 3-0 lead already. Wow.
You know it's going to be the Blue Jays that screw everything up. This is just
I can't believe this. The Dodgers have already set the stage by putting 3 up in the first.
The Dodgers are putting all the pressure on the Jays. All the pressure on the Jays.
It's like, oh, yeah, we'll score for you. Oh, these guys are too much. Okay, here we go. Can of corn here. Okay, let's get this out.
I could cash out for $300 now. $10 for $300.
The runners didn't advance. Huge out there. That was massive. Okay,
that was like yesterday, guys. I had a pretty big parlay to close out with McDavid over shots, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. If they don't win the game, get me my 4th shot. And the guy had the puck on his stick for so long, just skating around, looking for someone to pass to. I needed one more shot to get to 4, and we couldn't get there.
I'm going to tell you, that is the worst bet in sports. I've been documenting this stuff myself, and Morency brought it up a long time ago. I don't know what kind of drunk idiot is doing shots on goal in the NHL. There's shots right on the goalie that they don't call shots. Who's ever doing this stuff? It is corrupt. It is a dumb bet because I've had guys that had 5 shots and they recorded 3 or 4. I'm like, you forgot the shot. Like, Gabe, it's so true, man. I've been paying attention to this, and you brought it up a long time ago. It's wrong. Don't bet that.
You know what I realized? I learned something new, though, and this is going to blow your guys' mind. I swear to God. Yep. They do not call it a save. Let's say the shot was going wide, but the goalie sticks his trapper out wide, and it wouldn't have hit the net. They're not calling it a save all the time.
No, I'm talking about shots the guy's bread basket that they forget, too.
How is that not a save?
Yeah.
It's too subjective. It's too subjective. Right? They don't give credit. Like, basically, it doesn't matter whether it was hard or whether it was easy. If the goalie stopped it, that's a shot on goal. Right? He stopped it. Right? That's, you know what I mean? But they don't, I don't like the shots on goal prop, though, in the playoffs, just because there's so many damn block shots as well. But so, you know, it's my parlay, whatever, is one thing. It's for fun. It'd be cool to hit. Yet, we show some of these crazy parlays that people play. This one's actually one of the craziest and most profitable, potentially best ones as far as maximizing profit. A better at FanDuel, and Ben Fox tweeted this out, a better at FanDuel put $16.68. Let's get the best of X up here. This is an 8-team parlay. $16. Roll it. So this parlay is $16 to win $999,000. So basically $1 million.
Oh,
and South Carolina women's basketball team to win the NCAA title. Check. They won. UConn to win the men's tournament. Check. They won. Man City to win the Premier League. Check. They won. Carlos Alcaraz to win the French Open. Check. He wins. Boston Celtics to win the championship. Florida Panthers to win the Stanley Cup. This is the tough one here because he's got the Dodgers at the back end, which will put him up in a great head situation. But Scotty Scheffler to finish top 10 in all 4 majors.
4 majors. Wow. Whoa. You got to cash that out, man. I don't know what he's going to do in Europe. I worry about the British Open with that guy. That's the one tournament, like, I haven't seen him like the other ones. I'm like, Masters, he can play it blindfolded. The other 2, if they fit his game, I'm worried, Gabe. Wow, what do you do? Like, that's what a great bet. Who is this?
You know what you do? You got to find one of those apps and you sell the ticket. Forget about the cash out. You
Someone would buy it. Yeah. Someone would. But this is back to the same parlay, and we're noticing a theme. If you notice, Cam, a lot of these big parlays, they're the patient ones where you pick the champions and through everything. So, you know what I mean? Like, we got to jump in like now, basically. Pick the World Series champion, the Grey Cup champion, the Super Bowl champion, Euro Cup champion, Copa America Cup champion. Like, I'm going to do it. All the tournaments that are coming up next. Amazing. I'm going to start throwing some of these together. They add up, right? And like I said, if this guy actually got all the way to the Dodgers at plus 320, he really would be in a good situation going into the World Series.
Great bets. I'm just impressed with the ones he's hit already, Gabe. Look at he's hit like I'm like, wow, man. Like, that's some pretty good stuff.
Yeah, you know what, though? South Carolina were massive favorites to win.
They were.
UConn, I was on UConn to win. We all knew UConn was going to win. Man City, they were favorites.
Panthers minus 2.5 games, plus 330. Panthers 2+ goals in every game, plus 225.
It's going to take a monumental effort for them not to get 2 goals in a game. It's going to take what Bobrovsky did last night. It's going to take Skinner to do in Edmonton. They're not going to do it in Florida.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
If you're in the room, what are you doing with the Judge MVP number? Books are now 2-1, standalone favorite. What are you doing with the Judge number?
What do I do with the MVP? I let them bet Judge at what? Even money? Come on in. I mean, you have to acknowledge now that he's the guy.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
You're going a little deep bomb hunting here. We don't care that we have the one heavy favorite with Rory, a couple other guys like Fleetwood and Tagala, etc. You're going to go a little deeper down the board.
This course, I think, is going to play a little bit more to the wedges. They have, what they did is they've renovated it to basically block off some of the bombing alleys for these guys. They've narrowed the fairways.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Garrett Cole is getting ready to come back too. I guess this. Look, they've played great without him, but you're not going to say to Garrett Cole, "Look, don't come back." I mean, it's a ridiculous conversation to have.
They're not going to take any unnecessary chances. And look, they're at the point where they have a lead. They certainly are going to make the playoffs, I would say, barring some sort of complete collapse. And that's all it takes.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
And the Toronto Blue Jays get out of the inning. Still 2-0, going to the top of the ninth inning right now. There's runners on second and third, but they get out of it. They survive. And we're going to the ninth, 2-0 Jays. And the Dodgers off to a hot start. They're up 3-0 on the Texas Rangers. Right now, the Rangers do have a runner on first base. 1-1 in the Bay Area. McKinnis, I know you played a WNBA game tonight, and we got a track meet going on with the Minnesota Lynx and the Las Vegas Aces. In-game total right now, guys, is 184.5. It's 39-36 right now for the Lynx. Suddenly the Aces are struggling a little bit. Fame is catching up to them, and, winning back-to-back championships catching up to them a little bit. The Aces are minus 145 money line right now, losing 39-36. Total 184.5, and you bet the over, didn't you?
I did, Gabe. Over 165.5, a great number to get there with them. I also took the team total over in the first half for the Aces. A little bit of double dipping. I know I'm not giving a play out right now, obviously, because the game just started. So what I will say is this: 3-0. 3-0 is the record to the over for the Aces when off a straight-up loss this season so far. So a little tidbit to use so far. The last time they were off a straight-up loss, I bet their team total. I saw it today. Well, you know what? The Lynx are playing some good ball. Forget about the team total. I'll take the full game over, let both teams go at it. And so far, so good in this game.
Let's get to the NBA Finals. What do you think about tomorrow night's game, McKinnis? Boston Celtics are getting 2.5 points. Porzingis is going to be out. The total is 212.5 right now.
You know, I disagree with the opening number. I really do. I thought that the opening number came out in favor of Dallas. Obviously, they were just thinking, you know what, we're going to see what we can do to get Celtics money in. But I think, you know what, they would have got Celtics money no matter what the number was. I think that's how high people are on the Celtics right now. People are calling this a write-off, a sweep. Series is done. All we keep seeing is videos of Luka wrapped up, but he's still dropping 30-point triple-doubles, and his team's losing. So for me, I'm going to stick to props. I've been doing pretty well with the prop market in this series. A couple that I like. We'll go back to the Luka assists. He had just one in game one, but he stepped it up big time in game two. Obviously, it was a closer game, distributing the ball. And I know, sure, 30-plus points could just take his points, rebounds, assists, but specifically getting his teammates going. People realize that he cannot beat this Celtics team on his own. It's beneficial for him to get his teammates going. So You look at some spots, we can see, I believe, over 9.5 is the number for his assist prop. I do think Kyrie will get going at home. I'm going to bet just one bet, no combo bets. I will be taking his points. And one bet I've really been liking for the Boston Celtics player here, Gabe. It's 1-1 in the series, but I'm going to keep riding it throughout the series. Jaylen Brown over 9.5 rebounds plus assists. I like taking guards with their rebounds. You get a discount, I find. It's the same thing for taking a big guy over on assists. And the thing is with Jaylen Brown, he is so quick, and the drive and kick game is so good for the Celtics. Every single player on the court can shoot the ball. And to me, he's piling up those assists every single game. So over 9.5 assists plus rebounds, I'd say best bet for me tomorrow in game 3.
I do agree with you with the Kyrie Irving prop. I'm going to play it over 23.5 points. It's been the same number throughout the series, 23.5 in every game. And we know he's only got 28 points combined in the 2 games, 16 and 12, 0 for 8 from 3, 13 to 37 overall from the field, which is very unlike him. But it's pretty clear he struggles back in Boston, right? There's some sort of weird voodoo type of karma going on for him there. He's lost 12 consecutive games in Boston, right? So, I mean, the number speaks for itself, but I would expect it to be super aggressive back home. I like the Mavericks tomorrow. Cam, what are you doing with the game tomorrow? You're on the Celtics in the series, so It would be a good spot, I think, for you to – I do think the Mavericks will win tomorrow, but are you going to ride the Celtics out and take them again tomorrow, or who do you like?
No, I'm not, Gabe. Like you and McInnes, I'm trying to be a smarter man here. Let's think about this. I got the Celtics in a lot of good situations. You look at that series price, and now things are looking real juicy. I like the Dallas Mavericks in this spot, and I agree with you guys wholeheartedly. I think Kyrie Irving's going to go off. This is the game for them. I'm not sure if they're going to win both, but I really like Dallas coming out in game 3 and getting it done. I've already bet it. The line has gone up since I bet it, Morency. So, and if you like it, maybe a little sprinkle on the series, too. I got a lot of good positions I am with Boston right now, so I'm going to do some math, and you get a crazy number. Say the Mavericks win both games, and you got that in your back pocket. So it's something to think about. That's what Mark Lord's told us a long time ago, Gabe, playing both sides. But I still like Boston in the series, but this series is definitely not over.
Well, yeah, you're right. You could get big numbers with both the Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Mavericks right now. You know, and I talked about this last night too. If you like them at home in the next game, you might as well just take them on the series just to have that price. Because like Cam just stated, you know, the Mavericks, you know, what's the series price? They're like 400 and 500, right? Plus the Oilers like plus 400, plus 450, and the Mavericks like plus 550, whatever it is. If they both win the next 2 games, so here we go, plus 570 right now. If they both win, if the Mavericks win the next 2 games, suddenly, man, it's minus 160, right? The Boston Celtics are like minus 175 or something to win the NBA championship, and you got yourself a nice head situation. Similar situation with the Edmonton Oilers, in which we'll get to. But as far as the player props tomorrow, the numbers that are posted up right now, and they will move tomorrow. Jaylen Brown is 23.5 points scored. Drew Holiday's been amazing in these playoffs, and we knew it. I mean, this guy, I said it a million times, the Bucks wouldn't have won without him years ago. Drew Holiday is over under 13.5 points. Horford is 9.5. Tatum is 27.5. It could be a game where Tatum goes off, actually. Tatum is sort of due for one of these big stat type of games. Derek White is 15.5. Lucas 32.5. Gafford is 8.5. Kyrie, as we talked about, 23.5, and I'm going to play him to the over. Derek Lively is 7.5. And here's another guy. I'll roll the dice with P.J. Washington tomorrow. He's much better at home. I think P.J. Washington is a guy. Washington's been pretty aggressive, too, in the first 2 games. It's not like he's disappeared. He just really hasn't hit the shots, right? But he's taken it to the rack a bunch of times still. So I don't think he's I'm not going to write Washington off. I think Washington can go over 14.5 here tomorrow. Blue Jays up 2-0 right now. In the 9th inning, there's 2 outs, so the Brew Crew are going to have another crack at this. In other scores, the Yankees are beating the crap out of the Royals 10-1 in a game that won't end. Angels and D-backs tied at 2, bottom of the 3rd. 1-0 for Oakland over San Diego. Tonight, Cam, you talked about the under, and I tell you, I don't know if it was just a feeling, and I don't know about you, McInnes, with Seattle I didn't like it tonight. It was 7. Just didn't feel, it's like, especially with the White Sox. The White Sox pitching staff is so bad, as we saw last night. And, by the way, we got to take the Seattle Mariners right now. They're losing 3-2, and it's minus 105, guys.
They have come back in all those games. And think about this, Morency. You're a White Sox guy plus 1.5 going, it's okay. The Mariners can win this game. Oh, no, grand slam. You lose 8-4 final. That's the way things are for the Chicago White Sox. You just don't lose. You lose run lines. You lose everything. But you said it, dangerous situation. The White Sox with the lead, they can't hold it. Their bullpen reeks. But we'll see what happens tonight. But I do agree. Bad pitch.
McKinnis, it's been 3 times in the last week here. Last week, 2 times against the Cubs. They were up 5-1. They blew the lead. We jumped in when it was 5-3. The Cubs came back and won. The next night, they blew another 3-run lead against the Cubs. The Cubs won. Last night, the Mariners were big money down. They came back. You talked about it. We talked about it. Bullpens are what decides games. And the White Sox bullpen is terrible. All right? They get lit up all the time. The Mariners have been a good comeback team. The Mariners are smoking hot right now. And, dude, it's only we're going into the 4th inning right now. The Mariners are down by 1 run, and you're getting them at minus 110, and they were massive favorites. I think it's a good in-game bet here. We'll get into the Stanley Cup Finals on the other side. Did the Blue Jays just add an insurance run? Yes, they did. 3-0 Jays. Yeah. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. Let's get a couple of more here.
I agree.
Panthers minus 2.5 games, plus 330. Panthers 2+ goals in every game, plus 225.
It's going to take a monumental effort for them not to get 2 goals in a game. It's going to take what Bobrovsky did last night. It's going to take Skinner to do in Edmonton. They're not going to do it in Florida.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
If you're in the room, what are you doing with the Judge MVP number? Books are now 2-1, standalone favorite. What are you doing with the Judge number?
What do I do with the MVP? I let them bet Judge at what? Even money? Come on in. I mean, you have to acknowledge now that he's the guy.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
You're going a little deep bomb hunting here. We don't care that we have the one heavy favorite with Rory, a couple other guys like Fleetwood and Tagala, etc. You're going to go a little deeper down the board.
This course, I think, is going to play a little bit more to the wedges. They have, what they did is they've renovated it to basically block off some of the bombing alleys for these guys. They've narrowed the fairways.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Garrett Cole is getting ready to come back too. I guess this. Look, they've played great without him, but you're not going to say to Garrett Cole, "Look, don't come back." I mean, it's a ridiculous conversation to have.
They're not going to take any unnecessary chances. And look, they're at the point where they have a lead. They certainly are going to make the playoffs, I would say, barring some sort of complete collapse. And that's all it takes.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. 3-1 for the Dodgers right now, bottom of the 2nd inning. So there's already been 4 runs in this game. The Dodgers are minus 500 right now. The Blue Jays go into the bottom of the 9th inning with a 3-0 lead. It's a big run to get. Two isn't that massive. You know what I mean? A runner gets on, somebody hits a home run, boom. 2 runs is very possible to score. 3's a little trickier. It'd take a bigger meltdown here by the Blue Jays. So let's hope the Blue Jays can finish this off. And then suddenly we got the Dodgers to win and the Rangers a plus 1.5. We talked about the NBA Finals. Paul Bovey's going to join us in level 2, and we'll get back to the NBA Finals. But let's get into the Stanley Cup Finals right now. So, McInnes, I underestimated the Florida Panthers. They've dialed it up a notch because, truth be told, the Edmonton Oilers really aren't playing poorly. The Florida Panthers have just been better than they have been. The Panthers have imposed their will, the relentless forecheck. It worked against the Rangers. The Edmonton Oilers defensemen have been lost and overwhelmed. They can't get the puck out of the zone, and they're worn out already. It's like 2 games in, and they're weekly, like these little weak attempts at clears and stuff, to get the puck out of the zone. And it's because the Panthers are all over them right there. One thing, too, about the Oilers team speed, they don't really have an advantage we've seen. The Panthers are in their face so much. The Oilers never really have a lot of room to work with. But with all that being stated, things can change in a hurry in a hockey series. And we talked about the Mavericks going back home. Although I think that home court still means more in the NBA than home ice does in the NHL. I trust the Mavericks more tomorrow than I like the Oilers on Thursday, but I still like the Oilers on Thursday. I don't think they're going to come back and win the series, but I'm still going to say it goes 6 games.
I agree with you as far as the NBA versus NHL, as far as home ice, home court, for the most part, besides the Oilers example. Because, sure, sometimes the last change, getting the chance to change last, is kind of overblown for most teams. But when you get to decide where McDavid and Draisaitl go and try and keep them away from Barkov or Forsling or Rodriguez and decide their own fate, it's way different than any other team. It's way different. And if you were to tell me, Andrew, pick the games that go under in this series, pick the games that go over, I would say the games will go under in Florida and they'll go over in Edmonton. And people are wondering why that's happening throughout the playoffs. It's because of the last change factor. So I agree with you for the most part. I do think the energy in buildings for NBA and the comfortability for some of the players not used to the big moment in the NBA, that's why I do think some of the guys, like you mentioned, I think Gafford will have a good night for the Mavericks. I think Lively is going to be good. But I think that overall for the Oilers, the over 2.5 team total is the bet I'm looking at. I can't trust this team to win a game. I'm just going to trust them to get some goals. And some people might say you're going to trust them to get 3 goals, take them to win the game. But I'd prefer to take a look at the team total. One thing I'll say, you talk about regrets and about the series. I knew that the Florida Panthers could swarm them. I thought that they would be able to score goals off the counterattack. That's not been there. And the thing is, this Oilers team's playing too comfortably. The penalty kill, the way that Florida has their penalty kill, guys, is what I used to say why teams didn't always do that when I was younger. I would always ask, why don't teams just go nuts? If you notice the penalty killers in the Panthers, they don't just stand around. They pressure and swarm and blitz every single guy. So I think the Oilers need an ugly goal. They need a really nasty goal, not a goal that's nice. And right now, the power play not working. My biggest regret is counting on a team's power play to win me a series bet.
Well, that's been a thing, and that was the key, right? They've shut down the Oilers. The Oilers are 0 for 7 on the power play in this series, scoring 37% of the time in the postseason. Clearly caught up to them. And you're right, I talked about it last night. You look at the Florida Panthers, McInnes, their players on the PK, they block every shot, bro. Like, they're sacrificing their body on every play. They're either taking the player out, they're playing the body. If they can't block the shot, they'll block the shot. And you'll notice even the passes, like they'll dive and they'll extend their sticks out. Like, you know what I mean?
They're amazing.
So it's even hard to get a simple pass off because this dude, like you said, they're relentless. A lot of teams will sit back. The Panthers will like challenge you at the blue line. They'll come out and they know as well, right? Like Bouchard is worried about getting a shot block and a counterattack, but I agree with you. And you talked about a Cam coming in. And the Panthers are very good at it. I think the Oilers will be better at it at home, in which the Panthers just shoot the puck at the net all the time. They don't really try to score. Their goal is let's shoot the puck at the net and see what happens. Something good will happen around the net.
Why don't the Oilers do that, Gabe?
But the Oilers are skating around, bro. You saw in the power play. How many times? Look, there was a play last night. Guys. Connor McDavid deked out like 3 guys in the slot. Right? It was like he went one way, he went the other way, he went around another guy. It was like, all right, bro, what point are you going to shoot? And instead, he veered off and he fired off a pass into the slot. It was like a beautiful play. Yep. The puck went right through the slot, but it was like, bro, you would have had a better opportunity just firing the puck at the net after you deked out the first or second guy. You're Connor McDavid. You're 20 feet in front of the net. Let it rip. But he didn't. He got too cute. He's gotten too cute too many times. Same with Draisaitl. Too cute too many times.
Conversely, Florida shoots at the net, and Rodriguez is there for a perfect tip that no goalie in the universe can save because he's going the other way and the puck's going into the corner. Here's the deal. I think you guys, it's urgent for Oiler fans, and I'm not just saying this. You have to come out. This is not the Dallas Stars, whatever. Florida's a different animal, Gabe. And you saw Ekblad, what he did in that play with wide open. Like wide open in the slot, just tip the stick away. These guys are always there all the time. If Edmonton does not get up in this game, McInnes and Gabe, and they go down like 2-0, and you take the air out of that building, the party could be over. I think the series, here's the deal. I'm taking Florida, and either if they lose this game, I'm taking them the next game because I think they split. That's my opinion. But I got to tell you this. Edmonton, the fans could be your savior, or they could be also a real negative in hockey when things go south. Edmonton, you better listen to these guys and fire everything in the kitchen sink at Bobrovsky, because if Florida plays their game like they did, you're toast. You're done. You're not coming back from a 2-0 lead against these guys. Sorry, party's over.
No, it's paramount that they don't just score the first goal, but the first, 2 goals. They need to sort of turn it into a party in there. You're not going to break Florida's will, but at least just sort of, all right, this is our night tonight. I personally think they're just being coy with Barkov, and he'll play tomorrow, in my own personal opinion.
Panthers minus 2.5 games, plus 330. Panthers 2+ goals in every game, plus 225.
It's going to take a monumental effort for them not to get 2 goals in a game. It's going to take what Bobrovsky did last night. It's going to take Skinner to do in Edmonton. They're not going to do it in Florida.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
If you're in the room, what are you doing with the Judge MVP number? Books are now 2-1, standalone favorite. What are you doing with the Judge number?
What do I do with the MVP? I let them bet Judge at what? Even money? Come on in. I mean, you have to acknowledge now that he's the guy.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
You're going a little deep bomb hunting here. We don't care that we have the one heavy favorite with Rory, a couple other guys like Fleetwood and Tagala, etc. You're going to go a little deeper down the board.
This course, I think, is going to play a little bit more to the wedges. They have, what they did is they've renovated it to basically block off some of the bombing alleys for these guys. They've narrowed the fairways.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Garrett Cole's getting ready to come back too. I guess look, they've played great without him, but you're not going to say to Garrett Cole, look, don't come back. I mean, it's a ridiculous conversation to have.
They're not going to take any unnecessary chances. And look, they're at the point where they have a lead. They certainly are going to make the playoffs, I would say, barring some sort of complete collapse. And that's all it takes.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, and then there was one. Our parlay lives. The Toronto Blue Jays win the baseball game 3-0. Now we're down to the Dodgers. They're up 3-1. $10 bet pays $468. They're offering $390 right now, but I don't need to cash out because I also took the Texas Rangers plus 1.5 runs. I put $100 on it just for the sake of it. So I'm like, if I lose the 100, I still win $368, and maybe the Dodgers win by 1 run, and I hit them both. And I did play every game individually, so we're on like a nice 7-0 baseball run so far tonight. And so I'm on the Dodgers. I said about the Rangers plus 1.5. I've also got the San Francisco Giants, and I took the Mariners in game. They're still down 3-2 right now, so that your total under 7 is still alive. Before we get McKinnis out of here, CFL football. Week 1 was a wild week. We had underdogs winning. We had underdogs coming back. 3 of the 4 games went over the number, which was somewhat of a surprise to me. I think the Calgary Stampeders were probably the biggest surprise of the week. A lot of people thought they were going to be really down. They look good. Maybe Hamilton just aren't very good. McKinnis, what do you think about week 2 of the CFL?
I'm excited for week 2. I got a couple picks I'll blast through. Start first and foremost with the first game of the week. We'll just blast through, give a pick on each game here. Bombers, Red Blacks. I like the over. The Red Blacks offense will continue to grow. They got Rhymes. They've got Ackland. They've got Addison. So many great weapons. Still do not trust that defense. You're getting an angry Winnipeg team in bounce back mode. We'll take the over in that one. I think their offense will come to life after a really poor start in week 1. Montreal and Edmonton, overreaction week. That's week 2 in every single football league. Well, everybody loves the Alouettes right now, but I think this is the spot I want my money on, the Edmonton Elks. They were laying points last week, -3.5. Well, this week, their open number, +6, +5.5, +5 now. I'll take the Elks. Stampeders, BC Lions, again, overreaction week. 32 points from the Calgary Stampeders in week 1. Well, I still do not think they are that great of a team. You have to trust your gut. You can't handicap week 2 all on what happened in week 1. I think BC goes home, gets the job done at home, and the receiving core helps them out, get a lot of points, 30-plus points in that game. Rough Riders, to me, plus the points, +1.5 money line. Trevor Harris passes for 305 yards. AJ Ouellette, though, he had 18 carries for 1.8 yards per carry, 32 yards. You're going to tell me this game against Hamilton, if he gets 18 carries, he will not get more yards? That's horrible, but I still love the workload they gave him. Hamilton, to me, will not be able to run like they did on Calgary, and that'll be the biggest difference. I'll take Saskatchewan on the money line.
You know, Hamilton got it going a bit as the game got going, but you could also argue there was sort of garbage points at the time. But I do think you're looking at these games, there should be points. I agree with you with Winnipeg and Ottawa. Listen, Ottawa played Winnipeg tough. Winnipeg find themselves a lot of crazy, high-scoring games when they play the Ottawa Red Blacks. Don't forget the longtime backup quarterback of Winnipeg is the new starting quarterback with the Red Blacks, Drew Brown. It's their first game. I like the fact that the Red Blacks got an extra week of prep time as well. So I think the Red Blacks are live dogs in this game, and I think there will be points in the game. Montreal is the one I'd be careful with, McKinnis. I like what Edmonton are doing, but the Montreal Alouettes have won 9 football games in a row. All right, like this is a football team on a roll, going back to last year. 9 wins in a row.
You have some books showing 4.5 now. This is crazy. As we're talking right now, I just saw some 4.5s opened up +6. This is getting real low now on the Elks.
I'm seeing a 5.5. So yeah, maybe people are agreeing with you and not trusting the Alouettes. That game is Friday night. Total 48.5. I totally agree with Calgary and BC. This is the one that I think will be a track meet. We saw BC's offense is able to put points up. Their offensive line is shaky. They've got to tighten up. Vernon Adams isn't a big enough dude to survive 20 weeks of getting murdered like that. Yeah. But we saw whatever. They can score, right? And I tell you what, the Argonauts are not playing this week, Cam, but they're a football team that people expected a big drop-off from. But Cameron Dukes, I knew that Cameron Dukes was going to be fine. I thought that the loss of Ouellette would hurt more, but it was a wild football game. Yeah, you got to give credit to the Argonauts offense for putting the points up that they did.
Not just that game. Also, you talked about the BC line, and it's a concern, but also the Argos defensive front and linebackers did a great job, especially in the dying minutes of that game when BC had the ball. They got pressure on Adams big time, lots of sacks, turnovers. Could have been another one that was reversed by the command center. So kudos to the Argos. Their defensive line got a lot of pressure. And, you know, I thought they're a better team than people thought they were. But early in the season, you said it, McKinnis, overreaction time. I think BC smokes Calgary this week. Takes them out to the woodshed.
McKinnis, wagertalk.com. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks.